Good evening, everyone. Trust you are good. Welcome back on our video. So, on today's video of this, we'll be talking about is inducement. So, what is an inducement? How could you spot inducement in the market and understand this is an inducement, or make your trading decisions by the inducement you see? So, for me, I feel inducement too is a form of liquidity. Get me right? Inducement also is a form of liquidity. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that when you see inducement in the market, inducement is just like you get your setup, but inside that your set in we when inducement in market is when a particular zone looks so real, uh, that you believe the trade is going to take off from that point, and you attempt to take your trade decision from that point. Under that point is an inducement. So how do you see inducement? How did inducement occur? How did inducement form? So on today's video, we're talking about the type 1 inducement. There is type 2 inducements, there is type 1 inducements, but for today's video, we're talking about the type 1 inducements, which I'll be using the uptrend market and the downtrend markets to explain the type 1 inducement. So notice a type 1 inducements are inducements that are formed after the break of structure has been completed. Gets me right? A type 1 inducements are inducements that are formed after what the break of structure has been completed. So understand how it goes. So let me give you an example now. So for instance, we have an option market. We have an option market, market that is trending upward, market that is trending upward, something like this. So now we have our option market. We always have our conferences. Those will be our conferences. We first have a sweep of liquidity. Have a sweep of liquidity. Have a sweep of liquidity. Then we have a break of structure to the upside. A break of structure to the upside. Yes. So after a break of structure to the upside, we look for one thing we look for is after a break of structure to the upside, one thing we look for is we tend to look for our unmitigated order block, which forms at the origin. So our origin, we always tend to look for our unmitigated order block that formed at the origin. We get that point, we mark it out. So now if you haven't marked this point out, then you see the market does something again, something like this. See the market does something like this again. After the break of structure, see the market does something again like this. So now look at something now here. We have break of structure. We have a break of structure here, isn't it? We have a clear break of structure here. That's already formed. But we see something else again. We see another break of structure again upward. So, and one of the things you need to understand that I've spotted a break of structure before, and which the market has not mitigated, or the price have not tested this origin. Look at something now. Price have not tested this origin. Have not tested the order block, and still gives you another break of structure like this. And this break of structure is having an origin too. Let's say this break of structure is having an origin too. Break of structure is having an origin too, for instance now. And most traders will be like, okay, I have a break of structure downward that is not mitigated, and I still have another break of structure. I have a break of structure downward that is not mitigated, which is we have a break of structure here, this break of structure here. The origin that causes break of structure, this is a break of structure. The origin that causes break of structure is this, and this origin has not yet been mitigated by price. And we have another new break of structure here, another internal break of structure here, which most traders were expecting for price to come to this point, tap in to this point, and dish out full TP. That's what will be their thinking. But no, one of the things you need to understand that if price has not tapped into this your other block, hmm, this point is an inducement. If price have not tapped into this your other block, take this zone as an inducement. Many traders will be induced to take trade from this. So what what will you see the market do? So the market will definitely do something like this. So in for me while trading, I always mark this point as my inducement. So let me do something. I want the inducement to be close. I want it to be close to my point of interest. Very, very close. So let's give it something like this. And yes, I remember. I want to teach you how to use Fibonacci. But we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that in determining trade. So you see this point that I mark now. This point is now my inducement. So this is my inducement zone. So one of the things you see price do is that price will come. There's this inducement zone. There's this inducement zone. It's induced many buyers. There's this inducement zone. It seems as if the market is going to push upward. Just give you a little push here. So many are like, this market is going to push upward. You understand? But no, the market is not pushing any upward. The market is just doing its thing. The market is just doing its thing. Time. The market is just trying to whine you, play with your emotions, and definitely do what he wants to do again. So see, market tests, market comes, dish a little bit profit, a little bit smooth for those traders that entered at that position. Then it will tap into our other block. After tapping into our other block, we know what will happen now. We always know what will happen. Dish out for TP. So patience matters here. So for me to do this, let me first draw my 50% point of interest first. 50% point of interest, which is at this zone. My 50% point of interest. So understand how inducement work. Understand how inducement work. If you understand how inducement work, you really, really enjoy trading. So understand what is inducement. If I see inducement, will I know inducement? How can I trade with inducement? How will I cope? How will I make trading decisions with inducement? Because you need to understand that if you see a trade, some will not come with some will not be coming with the liquidities we've explained in our previous videos. Some will be coming with inducements. Inducement such as this, inducement like this. So if you see inducement, how can I make trading decisions with inducement? How can I align the boats? How can I make trading decisions while I see inducement? How will I know that this is inducement? What makes this inducement? What make me know that even the place I'm placing my trade for is not an inducement and it's not an inducement zone and all of that? So understand that when your your predicted order block is not yet mitigated and price gives you a continuous trend, like giving you like and push upward, breaking structure, and the down one has not been cleared. When I mean the down one, the break of structure that the former break of structure has not been cleared. You need to be aware. You need to be aware, pay attention to see what the market is going to do after that. So for me now, you see how I spot my inducements. Okay, so this how I spot my inducement. So this is how I spot my inducement, and it's a kind of sweet thing to know. So break of structure, the sweep of liquidity is present. Our sweep of liquidity, which is present here, sweep of liquidity is here. This is a sweep of liquidity, making that's my origin very strong. That's making this my origin very strong. So now we have a sweep of liquidity, then we have our break of structure, which is this, and the original cause of break of structure is this point, and we see a valid order block here, and we mark our order block, mark our 50%. I want price to tap in, then we wait to see our inducement, and this we see here, it's a type what, it's a type 1 inducement that is formed after the break of structure, a type 1 inducement. And we see the private market always, it induce you, okay, this lead to push up, it shows you that okay, the market is kind of moving to a direction, and later see the market clears you out, clears you out, it clears the TP and it's moved to the original direction. So pay attention to little details. Don't just trade because you want to trade, or make analysis or do analysis because you are good at doing analysis. Make little observations. Make little observations. So when you make little observation, you're able to have options on what to do. You're able to have options on what to do. So I haven't seen this now. This is how we place our trades. This is how we use our type 1 inducements to get to get a valid setup, and boom, we see markets moves in a direction. So I hope this is quite understanding. This one option markets. This one option markets. So it's kind of easy or beautiful if you understand the concept. So now I haven't seen it for the uptrend market. So now let's do the same for the downtrend market. Let's take all this out. Let's take all this out. So I want you to do me a favor, for those of you who will be coming across a video on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, not just view it, like, comment, and if possible subscribe to the YouTube channel, because we are here to just make you understand or to be a better trader by making the concept so easy. That's one of my visions, one of my goals, making the concept so easy, very easy, more than the way I even learned it, very easy, so anybody can understand what we do. So very easy. That's why I don't make it look so complex by using charts always. Sometimes I prefer using diagram, make what I'm doing easy, so anybody could understand. Anybody could understand. If you just come into the first market for the first time, if you watch my video well, you will to understand what we're doing, and you will to say, okay, I can actually strive in the industry, or I can actually make a fortune out of this. So now when we have break of structure downward, like this, we have price gives us something like this, price gives us something like this, gives us something like this. Price gives us something like this. Gives us an inducement. So inducements are real. They are very real concept in the market. Very real. Very real concept. It's something you will experience them much more than even you. If you backtest well, you see them appear often more than even liquidity itself. So now we have, it look like the market is up, giving us an uptrend, a downtrend structure. But one of the things I said, we pay attention to the first break of structure that occurs in the market as the first break of structure, which this is the origin that caused the first break of structure. This origin here, there's the origin that caused the first break of structure. This is the origin. Our sweep of liquidity, which is at this zone. Our sweep sweep of liquidity, which is this. These are sweep of liquidity. It's a sweep of liquidity, making that our origin so very protected. So we have this as an inducement. Then mark my inducement zone. Mark my inducement zone. This as my inducement zone. My type what's my type 1 inducements. Always understand that inducement that forms after the market has broken a recent structure. That kind of inducement forms. So we see always the market will give us something like this, little bit of confidence, a push up, push the market up. You see it like a push up, then definitely experience the contrary. Market does the contrary, breaks that, and it's moved to it's moved it's kind of move. So these are inducements. Now let me mark my 50% zone. 50% zone, which is this. 50% zone, which is this. 50% point of interest, which is this. So you definitely see market does something like this, but up into it, gives us a pullback a little bit, pull back a little bit, pull back a little bit, then continues the trend. So we have sell side liquidity here. The market has to clear. So understand, always say that the market is liquidity driven. So any trade set obviously that I cannot find liquidity or inducement, my brother, think twice. Okay. So now in this setup we'll just place our risk to reward and we get our trade running. So one thing I want you to understand that the financial market is a market that is quite driven by many concepts, many things. You cannot know them all in a day. The more you see, the more you learn, the more it sticks to you, and the more you're able to make decisions. So this is what I'm trying to say in essence. As now for a downtrend market, what you're going to see is that you're seeing a sweep of liquidity. Then when you see a sweep of liquidity, you identify your break of structure. When you understand and identify a break of structure, you look for your origin, and the origin that caused this break of structure is this point. This is the origin. That is the starting point of the of this break of structure. The starting point is this. This is the point where the market tried to retrace back upward, and when it retraced back and cleared this previous point, it gives us a break of structure. So when you get a break of structure, you get your origin, and your origin must be represented by an order block or mitigated or a fair value gap. So might be fair and order block unmitigated. So I find price come and tap into before price comes and tap into my order block, we have to see our type 1 inducement. In this case now, type 1 inducements are inducement that form after there was the break of structure. The actual break of structure has been formed. Then we get an inducement and another inducement zone. The markets try to induce me, showing me that okay, this trade is already going to its own, so it's already pulling, it's already moving to others' favor. You are missing out, and definitely it's for the market to do clear out the early buyer, the early sellers, and then dish out the actual profits to those who are patient. So this is how we spot type 1 inducement and make ready decisions with it. So pay attention to how things go and look at it. To enjoy yourself with the video. Just take your time patiently, and I know within time you understand how the market works. So I see many your humble guy, Blue FX. So keep watching my videos, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, comment, so we'll be able to reach out to many as possible. So don't just view. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Have an effects. Thank you.